We are now talking to NFL draft defensive tackle prospect from LSU, Neil Farrell. What's going on, Neil?
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
I'm good, man. I mean, we're both good. Speedy, growing a beard again. Please do not shave it, by the way. You look like a... you do look like...
You complain when it was long, and you complain when it's short. Make up your mind.
You look like a child when you have a shaved face, man. It looks horrible. But anyways, Neil, how are you? How are you feeling? How's the weather over there in Louisiana?
Man, the weather good. It been pretty hot the past couple of days I've been, so I'm just ready to go get me some crawfish tomorrow.
Nice.
Well, that's what I liked. When I went to Mardi Gras and I actually enjoyed it, I actually liked the seafood over there. The seafood is ridiculous over there. And the alligator, beautiful. It's a very, I never even would have thought myself to eat alligator. But once I had it, it was a little spicy, but it was delicious. He's like, yeah, okay, we know about it. So why
I don't really eat all that.
I know. You got to get in shape for the combine and obviously your pro day. Tell us a little bit about experimenting and obviously experiencing going over there to the combine and obviously working out in front of all these coaches, all these GMs. What was it like stepping on the field with all these defensive linemen?
It was fun, man. Just hanging around them guys, getting to know everybody, and just going out there cheering each other on because we really ain't competing with each other. We just trying to put on the show for the word and the scout. So I had a lot of fun.
So there were 3 drills that you participated in at the Combine. Was there a drill that you enjoyed the most out of the 3 drills that you did? And if so, which one was it?
I really enjoyed all the defensive lineman drills. We've been training for that all our lives as defensive linemen. So going out there being able to showcase our talents and abilities on the field, it was fun.
Obviously, the defensive line, most of these guys are behemoths. They're 340 pounds. They're 6'5", 6'3", and most of these guys can run through a wall. When you were going to the combine, what was your going into the combine? What did you believe was your strength? And do you believe that your strength took over when you stepped on the field?
Yeah, I feel like my strength is doing anything like football related. I ain't had the best numbers. I'm improving numbers at pro day, but me going out there doing a defensive line drill, it was just fun to do.
In terms of your player-to-player interactions, I'm sure a lot of the prospects met with each other. Was there anyone that you met that really had like a good personality, was a fun guy to be around that maybe wasn't even on your team at LSU, but even somebody from other teams?
Yeah, pretty much all of it. Everybody had their own different personalities. Jordan Davis, Federa, Matt, Devontae, Wild. We all got along pretty good. Everybody had their different personalities, and it was fun to be around.
Well, what is your personality, Neil? You look like you're a funny guy. You have probably a good personality. You like to dance. I'm sure some of the music that you like to listen to was same. By the way, what kind of music were they playing when you were actually doing all these drills?
Oh, they don't play no music.
No music?
It's just you and the coach and the rest solid.
Well, to me, if you had some music in your ear, I think you would probably run faster. I think the momentum of the, maybe you're doing the Cuban shuffle or something like that on the field. Does anybody have, the footwork that you've seen other offensive or defensive linemen have, watching these combines year in and year out? Or was anything that really stood out to you stepping on the field with some of these great athletes?
Yeah, it was good to see like Jordan Davis and them big guys running fast for the time. That just showed us the type we athletic and got certain different abilities, and it was fun to watch them boys go out there and put on the show.
Let's go to the 2019 LSU National Championship season. Undefeated. You were a big part of that defense on that defensive line, had 3 sacks that year, very good run stopper. What were some of your favorite moments from that amazing season?
Just going undefeated, man. Them moments I'll cherish forever, just playing with a group of guys, just having a lot of success in the NFL. We had fun each and every week. We didn't lose a game. We won a national championship, so it was just a fun experience.
You were talking about that championship year. What was it like playing with Jamar Chase, or that unbelievable quarterback that's playing in Cincinnati right now, who went to the Super Bowl? What is it like playing with both those players?
Yeah, it's great playing with the guys. Both are quiet guys, but, when you step on that field, they're going to give it their all. So we all built great relationships, and it was just fun to be around them.
Yeah, a lot of talent on that defense, too. 2 safeties, Grant Delpit, Jacoby Stevens, Patrick Queen, Caleb Von Chase, on a lot of guys on that defense, and Derek Stingley, who's now going to be in this draft as well, potentially a top 10 pick. What were some of the experiences you had with those guys like?
I only had one experience, Patrick Queen, one little off-season. on fall camp practice, him and Joe Burrow got into a scuffle, and Joe Burrow's on the bottom of the pile. He got up and was ready to go to the next play. So that practice right there showed what Joe Burrow was about, and it was fun ever since then.
I would like to see Joe Burrow go crazy. I mean, he looks like he has a great personality, and even on and off the field, the chains that he wears, the different clothing style. I mean, the cigars that he smokes. He definitely has a different personality. Now, obviously, you've played with a lot of different personalities over there at LSU. Is there a personality that really stood out to you all those years playing at LSU?
Probably one O-line. He named Chase Hines. He one of the funnest guys I've been around, man. He made me laugh every day of the week. He my roommate. He just funny.
All right, I want to go to the personality of another guy that was a key part of that team. Your coach, Coach O. A lot of guys love him as a personality, a great players coach. What was he like?
You know, Coach O recruited me since I was in high school. You know, he the reason I came to LSU. We built great relationships. He's just a great man and a great coach. It was hard to understand him for a couple years, but I got it down pat by year 3.
One of our callers, Jeff, he was making a petition to make Coach O the voice of Siri.
Oh, God. He does have a unique voice. So, you know, when he walks into the room, you know Coach O is the one that's speaking because very unique voice. You talk about some of the great players that came out of LSU, and there were some fantastic players that came out of LSU. And you look at, obviously, that unbelievable season with Joe Burrows, Jamar Chase. Is there a player that, you know, defines the positions, over the years at quarterback, at wide receiver that really stood out to you as probably the best player you've ever seen step on the field?
Yeah, I go with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Jesse Jefferson, just Terry Marshall. You know, I also said some guys held on the field their position. You know, a lot of people gonna remember forever.
So this draft obviously has Derek Stingley, who's the LSU's best graded prospect. A lot of people thought he was going to go top 5. Now they're thinking more top 10. So what do you think? What do you think about him and the way he played on the field, especially that rookie year where he was sensational for LSU? And what was he like as a teammate?
Yeah, you know, Derek, he's another quiet one, but when he stepped on the field, he the best player on the field, man. It was fun and great sharing the field with him because, you know, they ain't going to throw his way, so they're going to hold that ball longer, let the D lineman get to the quarterback. So, you know, it's always great having players like him on the team.
Obviously, you're going to be drafted in this year's draft, and some people say you're a late 3rd round, early 4th round pick. Where do you see yourself in this draft, and do you believe that you should be higher than where everybody's projecting you to be?
You know, I definitely feel like I'm a top 100 player, day 2 player, but, you know, I put in a lot of work on the field. You know, I ain't had the best numbers at the combine, but that don't define me as a player. You know, you can turn the tapes and be dominating any SEC opponent. So I feel like the Cards going to play what they dealt.
So do you have any coaching connections in the NFL that you talked to at the combine? Any scouts that in particular you had a positive experience with? And if so, what teams were that? And is that something that you would want to go to?
You know, I don't have no coaches in the NFL that I really know. But, you know, I talk to pretty much every team. You know, every team pretty much like me, and I'm just a waiting game at this point.
Neil, I just saw your hands, man. You have massive, massive hands. I mean, look at those hands, okay? Going to the combine and shaking some of these defensive tackles and offensive linemen's hands, who had the biggest hands at the combine that you saw?
Biggest hands? I don't really know who had the biggest. I didn't really shake too many people's hands, so I look at the measurements and just compare everybody's.
You got mittens, man. I mean, yeah, you don't even need a baseball glove. You can catch it with your hands.
Don't need to worry about hand size this time.
Oh, no.
Speedy, don't use those words.
No. Sensitive topic on Twitter. Nope, can't downgrade that. So, is there any prospect that you were watching at that particular combine that maybe you did not face at LSU, or that you faced at LSU head to head? They were like, wow, it's even better for the NFL level. Any of those experiences with any offensive linemen head to head as well?
I also just watched my buddies back at LSU, also Declan, Ed Ingram, and Chase Hines, and DeMond Clark. Pretty much just rooting on for my guys, wish success upon them.
Neil, obviously all these different players coming out from LSU this year, going into the draft. Is there a player that we are not talking about that really is going to stand out for some of these teams that are going to be interested in drafting in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round? Is there a player that nobody's talking about that you believe could be a great NFL talent?
I feel like Jontre Kirkland, you know, he came out this year. He's down there training where I'm at. And he's just a cold-blooded athlete. He can jump, he can run, he can throw, he can catch. And I feel like he's going to shock a lot of people at Pro Day with his combine numbers.
So moving off of the combine, growing up, did you play outside of football? Did you play any other sports? And also, what were some of those experiences like? What other sports got you into just being a great athlete like you've been?
I came up. I was a hip and first basketball player, so I played center. That was my dream coming up, but ain't too many 6'4" centers in the league, so I had to transition somewhere.
Well, you're 6'4", and I'll tell you this right now: 6'4" isn't big enough in the NBA. I mean, the point guards are 6'3", 6'4". So, but your size and your ability and your athletic ability on a football field, when we watch LeBron James at 200, he's really 270 pounds, 6'8", as an athletic build the way he does. I mean, he could absolutely be a great NFL player, but he picked the right sport, as we could see. We are talking to NFL draft defensive tackle prospect from LSU, Neil Farrell. So, Neil, who was the best quarterback in college that you ever played against?
Best quarterback I ever played against. And that's a tough one. It'll probably have to be Tua. He wasn't the biggest, but he was a smart quarterback. So I'll give it to Tua. He was a good battle.
Did you have in the 5 years you were at LSU, did you have a favorite play and moment in your playing career? Obviously, the national championship is the biggest game, obviously, that you won, but a particular play that you liked from an individual standpoint, what would that be and why?
Well, probably this year against Alabama, me having that sack. We was down one possession, and it was third down sack, and it was a big play for the Tigers. So I feel like it was one of the best plays of my career.
Yeah, you guys hung tough in that game. I remember that.
All right, last question from me, because I know you have to go. It looks like what do you have behind you, by the way? What picture is that over there? What do you got behind you?
I don't really know what to say. I just like getting pictures just to hang on the wall.
I'm the same way. I buy pictures just to hang them on the wall because you don't want a blank wall. I mean, people look at you. I mean, so obviously, you're playing in LSU, and LSU is a very well-known college football. Did you ever think that you ever had the opportunity to go to Alabama or Georgia or any of these other schools? Was it always LSU when when you had to decide where you wanted to go to college?
No, I was out of Alabama, Florida State, USC, and I think it was Auburn. I don't really remember. Been a little while, but I pretty much had a bunch of offers. I could have went anywhere I wanted in the country, but me and Coach O just built that great relationship, and I like where their program was going. It was pretty much a no-brainer for me to go to LSU.
All right, last question for me. One NFL offensive lineman that you're looking forward to battling against, and a quarterback and a running back that you're looking to tackle in the NFL.
A quarterback, I want to see Tom Brady gone, Drew Brees gone. So I guess Patrick Mahomes next on the list. So I want to sack Patrick Mahomes, and the center I want to go against any vet center, probably Jason Kelce, somebody like that. And the running back, everybody want to pop Derrick Henry, so I want to get him in my hands one day.
All right, AFC West, AFC South teams that might be facing head-to-head. Neil's coming for you. Maybe the Raiders, maybe the Chargers. Chargers could definitely use run defense, so I don't know.
How about the Jets? I mean, coming to my team over here. Come to New York, man. You'll love it over here. The food's delicious over here. You'll get bigger, stronger, and the people are just asses. So you'll love it here, man. It's perfect for you. So before we let you go, what is, if you get that first sack, your first sack in NFL in your NFL season, what kind of dance would you give us? I mean, are you going to do that little? I don't know. I mean, I've seen some crazy dance. Jamar Chase had like 7-8 dances this year that really stood out to me. Is there a particular dance that before you step on the field that just stands out to you that we're going to see the great Neil Farrell do before he sacks somebody?
Yeah, LSU got a tradition with the receiver doing it gritty, so I'm just going to bring that gritty out for the big boys. Ain't nobody pulled it out yet, so I'm going to be the first to do it for the big guys.
Well, you look like you have a good personality, so I could see you doing like some kind of like break dancing or something, spinning on your head. I mean, I could see. Well, anyways, Neil, we really appreciate you joining us and taking the time, and we definitely would love to get you on after you get drafted. I really hope you get drafted from one of the New York teams over here, because I think both New York teams, both the Giants and the Jets, need defensive line help. And I think your personality and who you are as a person would fit here in New York. I really do believe that. So thank you for joining us. Tell the fans how they can find you on social media.
You know, y'all can follow me on Instagram, Real Spill Neil, Twitter, same thing. So I'm Real Spill Neil everywhere on social media if you want to find me.
Absolutely, and we're going to follow you, and we definitely would love to get you on after the draft and see where you're going, man. I'm really rooting for you, and I really hope, you know, in the third or fourth round, the Jets or the Giants call your name because you absolutely would fit here in New York.
Guys, appreciate it for having me.